Hello everyone, Mike Delisle, Grand Chief of the Mohawk Council of Kahnawake, here today to talk about residency and some of the media outlets that have taken a position, I'll put it that way. We're compelled today to answer not only the recent National Post article, and we do have a formal response for people who would like to read it. Whether it gets published or not will be on the MCK website, but we believe that this needs a little bit more than what's being said out there. I've been called by CBC, CTV, some choose to use the footage, some choose not to. And I think even more worrisome is that the present Minister of Indian Affairs, Bernard Valcourt, basically out of his office has called us in Kahnawake racist. So we need to be able to speak to the general population, not only including Kahnawake, but everyone else out there, and tell them that he is wrong. And most of the information that you've read so far is wrong as well, in terms of the op-eds that have happened, again, to National Post and others. We're responding to them, as I said, in writing, but this is more a general broadcast to anyone who is paying attention and wants some of the real facts. It's hard to judge us if you don't know who we are. It's hard to take a position if you've never lived or are Kahnawake, someone from this community, yet we see it happening on a daily basis now because of the residency issue / membership. We are supportive of the position, which is that non-natives cannot live in Kahnawake. A community group is and has continued to raise the issue here in the community, including mailing letters protesting at community members' homes who are looking to break the law, be in contravention of Mohawk law as it is right now. We live on a very small parcel of land called Kahnawake, which has been decreed, I guess if you want to call it that, to us as Indian Reserve number 14 through the federal government and the Indian Act. And that's where a lot of these problems start. It's an old piece of legislation that shouldn't have an impact here, but has had an impact for well over 100 years. We're still trying to change that. But in terms of residency, you can ask anyone in my community if they've ever heard of the issue of marrying out and you must leave the territory. And maybe not 100%, but pretty close to that would tell you that they've heard it in one way, shape, or form. The moratorium of '81 was the first time it was formalized. Sentiment carried over in the '84 law, which was repealed and replaced by the 2003 Custom Code. And again, sentiment still carried forward. We've had the opportunity to engage with the community, again, over the course of the last 10 years, more so importantly in the last 2 years with over 20 hearings through Kahnawake Legislative Coordinating Commission in a community decision-making process. And not once has anyone stepped forward and said, we want to propose that non-natives can live in Kahnawake. It's going to continue to be challenged. It's a hot topic not only in this community, but obviously across the country. But I'm here today to tell you that we are not racist. We are not a biased people. We don't hate anyone, and obviously that's where racism comes from. This is about residency, pure and simple. So people need to understand. We hope that some of the media outlets, including the people who are writing editorials on this issue, contact us first and get Kahnawake side of the story. Because to take a blatant swipe at us without knowing our history, what has led us to the position that we take now, is wrong. And it needs to be corrected all the way up the chain to the Minister of Indian Affairs, Mr. Valcourt. So with those few words, again, we just wanted to ensure that not only the Kahnawake community, but the nationwide, if not worldwide community understands where Kahnawake is coming from, and there'll be more to come. There's a recent lawsuit that we will be issuing statements on in the next 2 weeks or so, once we have firm legal ground to stand on in terms of our independent legal giving us advice. And we're going to defend our position as we should, as we must. So more to come on the residency and / membership issue in the coming days. But again, on behalf of Kahnawake, we want to ensure that people realize we're not racist, we don't hate, we're a people of peace. We will continue to do so and act accordingly. And we hope everyone else acts accordingly as well, with respect and toe.